Archangel Metatron via J. Tiburon. Greetings Masters, I am Metatron of Angelic Light and I am joined in this session by Tiburon of Crystalline Service. We greet you in a vector of unconditional love. Dear ones, there are objective realities that do in fact exist in the astral and other dimensions within and above the earth plane polarities of the omni-earth. The living inhabitants of the non-visible earthen dimensions are far more complex and vast in type and form than just nature spirits. Most are protean, meaning that they are capable of being formless as well as assuming various forms. We wish to emphasize the fact that astral energies are much more tangible in the enhanced ionic resonance of the new Earth of 2016 and beyond. The Omni-Earth is expanding in amazing ways in the ongoing transitional upshift, termed as the planetary ascension. It is an amazing time. The benchmark of 2012 initiated marvelous changes in your scope and perception of the realities around you. Realms of life that were previously much more difficult to perceive, are, in the new Earth, far more accessible to the sensitives within humanity. The crystalline shift of your planet has expanded the Earth from 3 dimensions to 12 dimensions, and the solar radiation has shifted the ionic ratio in a measurable fashion that benevolently influences the third eye vision via the pineal. Remember that all lanes of your awareness, including third, are like lucid dreams, trance states. Accordingly, consciousness is the simply direction in which the self looks. It is the channel in which you have chosen to focus. And with the new frequencies of the planet, you now have increased clear reception from 3 channels to 12 channels. As such, many of you will begin experiencing the astral realm and higher dimensional activity, and that is why we are offering our views of what lives within these other realities. Now we are also asked by the channel, James Tiburon, to review in this gathering, a fascinating and interesting topic, and one that we have not previously discussed, that of photonic and electrical life forms. These may be considered as beings that exist in the same dimensional realm as beings of the fairy Devic kingdom, but are of a different reality and composition than nature spirits. We will mention these briefly in the first part of this 2-part channel, and the second portion will go into much greater detail on these diverse and complex beings. And to take note, and we say again emphatically, as you enter into 2016 and beyond, the sensitive empaths among you will discover an embellished ability to experience life forms in other dimensions far more easily and far more often, especially in power node areas of full spectrum resonance. So it is appropriate to offer you understanding of this reality. The impressions most humans in the present Western cultures have of the Devic kingdom is programmed to no small degree by Celtic folklore, Greek myth and the Theosophical Society writings of Helen Blavatsky, Charles W. Leadbeater, Annie Besant and Jeffrey Hodgson. Although the mythology and complexities of cosmology, of non-human spirit beings, from the Vedic teachings is yet quite available, most in the Western cultures are at best only mildly familiar with these, but in fact much of the theosophical information on these topics is drawn from the ancient Vedic, in terms of the hierarchy of such beings, and the mythological lore, catalogued by Thomas Cately many decades earlier than Blavatsky and Leadbeater. Expansion of astral. Yet such astral life expands far beyond the writings of the Theosophical. There are, as we have mentioned, far more beings and other glyphy forms that exist in what may be termed the astral planes, parallels of the omni-earth and higher dimensions of the earthen realms, post-2012 dimensions 7-12. In truth, the advent of orbs and light sprites, which began in the relatively recent past few years, are a form of the photonic life forms now occurring visibly. Edit insert from J. Tiburon. These will be discussed in part 2 of this channel. These are constantly expanding in form and variety, not only in the earth realms, but in the infinity of the dynamic cosmos. The earth and duality realm of the physical earth and third solar system of your universe is but one of an infinite number of universes or systems of reality, some physical in nature, some more aptly described as mental or spiritual, and there are others which are completely foreign to human concepts and quite beyond what you may imagine. Each exists with its own natural laws, and each dimension is absolutely as valid as any other, whether physical or non-physical. Leadbeater does reference the living thought forms and other energetic life that teem within and without the astral plane, and we will briefly speak on these, as well as expand on certain others. Animal life and non-transmigration. But we wish to first clarify, in dissonance to the above reference sources, that transmigration of the soul is a misunderstood generalization, and an inaccurate concept in its interpretation. Although animal spirits do exist in the astral dimensions, we assure you they do not evolve into humans. As we have shared in our earlier channels regarding the animal kingdom of the earth plane, all animals operate in a group consciousness, without true individuality, with the exception of the cetacean dolphin. Animals are in a pre-agreed service, in step-down formats of consciousness in their incredible service to humanity in the proposed Maya of duality. With that being stated, we wish to emphasize that humans do not physically reincarnate into the group consciousness of animals, and in the earth and duality realm, animal spirits do not evolve into human souls. Every life form that reincarnates within the Earth system does so within the format that it is in, but may increase in a higher vibrational energy form of that same group field beingness. But the animal kingdom is not on the earth to evolve in individual creative consciousness in the manner of the human soul, for such evolvement occurs in individual consciousness, and animals have a group spirit and are in step-down patterns of instinctual programming on a mental level. But members of the greater animal genre and kingdom do indeed have a soul nature, as do all forms of life, even those you consider non-living. We assure you that all members of the animal kingdom indeed have a soul nature, as do all forms of life. However, humans do have the ability to integrate portions of their energy into animal form. But, to be clear, this integration is not transmigration of souls. It does not mean that a man can be reincarnated in an animal. It does mean that personalities can send a portion of their energy into various kinds of life in the kingdoms of the earth. In fact, pre-duality Lemurians and Atlanteans often experience the earth plane by projecting their consciousness into and forming a single third meld with animals, minerals, elementals and trees. Animal totems as Devic spirits. Buffalo spirit, eagle spirit, bear spirit, wolf spirit and jaguar spirit, as well as myriad others, exist in a tangible higher Devic form, especially in areas of the Americas, within areas of sufficient power nodal energy to afford and offer full-dimensional spectra projection. These are higher classifications of Devic projections rooted from the group soul, and are indeed powerful and wise energies. The animal kingdom have a more full, vast understanding and awareness of the other conscious kingdoms of the earth, and have always had the ability to teach that to mankind. You have in current times largely forgotten, quite unfortunately, how much you learned from all of the beings of the animal kingdom. Humanity and ancestral societies and cultures learned a great deal of medicine, of nutrition from watching animal behavior in interaction with the plant kingdom. Humanity observed carefully what plants to avoid and which to cultivate. You learned survival techniques and indeed social behavior by not only watching the animals, but by directly communicating telepathically with them. We will speak in greater detail of the wise spirits and guides provided by animal totems, in their interface with the tribal nations and indigenous societies who honored them in ceremony and experienced their wisdom as shape-shifting, Devic, teachers in astral realms. Simultaneous realities. Each incarnated human exists in at least 4 realms of life simultaneously, and in truth in myriad additional realms depending on the level of advancement. The 4 basic realities that all humans coexist within are 1. The third physical universe. 2. The dream world. 3. The mental, crystal-electrical realm, in which the inner self resides and all mental activity occurs, and 4. Angelic, the antimatter realm, which can be also simplistically described as the angelic realm. And this angelic/antimatter realm is one of zero-point energy. It is a realm of non-polarity. We have spoken numerous times regarding life in astral and other dimensions beyond the third through the shared channels via Tiburon, and indeed the channel, James Tiburon, has shared of his experiences and specific interface with the Lake Devas of Canada and Chile, electric Liffey forms in Phi Devics in Scotland, Canada, Greece, Ireland, England, Arkansas, Mount Shasta and the Andes of Chile, Bolivia, Venezuela and Peru. Now for purposes of brevity in this channel, we will only briefly reference the Deva or angelic realms of the earth, as this topic has been shared in greater detail in our prior channel on the angelic kingdom. New tangibility.